Alright, what is up you guys? Welcome back to the video. My name is Chris, as always with me, Liam. And today we are diving into a brand new show on our channel. MGM just dropped The Institute, one of Stephen King's books being adapted is the word I was looking for there, and is being directed by the same guy From. And Liam loves From, got me turned on to it, and so I have a lot of really great hopes for this. And leading up to watching this series, I actually got the audiobook of The Institute and listened to it. So I have a little bit of context and background, I would say, going into this, although I'm sure things will be different as we roll forward. But we're going to talk about episodes 1 and 2 today. They just dropped, and we're going to chat about them. So if you're brand new to the channel, hit subscribe. If you like what we do here, hit the like button. And the best way to chat with us about the show, because we love to hear your thoughts, your predictions, without spoiling anything, and just, what you think of what we say in the comments below. So without further ado, we'll see you in the comments, and we're going to chat.
Yeah, so Luke Ellis is like this super genius.
Yes.
And when they were in the auditorium thing doing the SAT or something like that, because that's what it felt like. I did exactly the same way when I was in school. So
yeah, it's an advanced exam. SAT would make sense, but I don't think it is the actual SAT.
Okay.
He goes to the college and takes this advanced exam for something. I think it's placement. But no, because he's already got accepted to MIT at that point. He hadn't told his parents. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. I'm drawing a blank on what that test exactly was for. It could have been the SAT, but I thought he never needed to take, I thought he was past that already at this point.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, he's like super genius.
Yeah, so he's supposed to be 14, but the actor looks a lot older than that.
That's one of the biggest gripes in Hollywood, especially when you're trying to do like a teen movie or a high school movie. It's unfortunately, most people have not had the life experience yet to have the caliber of acting that someone was looking for in a hit show. And so what they do is they take older people who can kind of fit the younger role, but have more experience as an actor and try to fill that role a lot of times. And so, we get the 40-year-old trying to pass as a 20-year-old or the 35-year-old trying to pass as 17. But I think you can still think he's a teen, but 14, I agree. He's a little too old looking for that.
All right. So he ends up catching the eye of like a hit team type thing, orange team anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, so they've been tracking him for a while at this point. So they monitor everybody who has the abilities, kind of like the slight ability. The thing that they talk about later in the episode is that because he was going to go to MIT and he was about to get a ton of recognition for being this super smart kid and basically become like this prodigy, it's going to be a lot harder to kind of kidnap him and erase him from society if all of society knows who he is.
Yeah.
And so they had to do a rush job and grab him because they had realized that the parents knew about MIT, they were okay with MIT, and that now his life was about to change. And so because of all that, they're like, okay, we got to grab him tonight, which is why the one chick who gets the pillow job talks about this was when we didn't have time and, that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. So they snatch him and then he wakes up in a room that looks exactly like his, right?
Yeah.
And he leaves the room and runs into a teenage girl in the hallway.
Yep.
And she is doing all the indoctrination stuff for him, which is interesting. And I made the same conclusions that the character did as I was watching it too. I was like, oh, it's clever.
Yeah. I think that's the way that they're doing that. They're using his intelligence to basically step by step walk you through what's happening because he's basically feeding it to you, which is great. But yeah, he's so smart. He figures it out. If he asks himself a question, he doesn't take him very long to figure out the answer. And so, yeah, he's on top of things. And in the book, it's he notices that it's not his room way than he does in the show because he immediately realizes there's no window, and then he goes and walks over and he checks for something that should be there, but it was such a minute detail, I forget exactly what it is, but he had something hidden in a cup, and he walks over and grabs that, goes to feel that thing, and it's not there, and he immediately realizes this is way off, this isn't my room, and then he goes out in the hall. But they do a little bit different in the show. But yeah, they use the kids as the greeters, and then obviously she kisses them and catches them off guard and all that.
I thought that was really weird.
Yeah.
I was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, she's just full of smooches for him, I guess.
At the same time, you have Tim, who is the night knocker. His story is running parallel to this at the same time. They haven't intersected yet, but they're flipping back and forth between his story and the story at the Institute. And so it's just important to bring up that Tim has officially found his way up because he was, used to be a cop in Florida.
He's hitchhiking.
He got himself in trouble because he was off duty, had a couple of drinks, and then ended up shooting someone. He, although was completely, in the right in the situation. The other cop completely agreed with him when he was talking to the captain there.
Yeah, it was for his interview.
Yeah, but the cop was like, listen, nothing that you did was wrong. Nothing that you did was wrong was that you happened to have alcohol before it happened. And obviously that's a huge no-no, drinking in uniform and then also pulling off while drinking and then being in uniform, like big trouble. So they had to get rid of him. But obviously the other captain, the other cop was just like, we got you. Don't worry about it. You're way overqualified for this.
Yeah, and he was he was open and honest about it too. Like, why are you telling me this?
He's very open and honest about the very negative things about him. He very much was like, he led with, hey, I'm a fuck up. And then the guy goes back and does some research on him. I can't remember his name right now for whatever reason. He's the captain, but he's
in a lot of sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, he was in X-Men and he played one of those aliens. Like, I don't know. It was really good. But anyway, where was I going with that before I lost my fucking train?
Talking about the things that he's honest about are the negative things about himself.
Yeah, and then the captain comes back or the sheriff comes back in and he's talking of, you've neglected to say some things on your interview. And we as the viewer, not knowing any better yet, would be like, oh, there's some real shit in his past he hasn't talked about yet. But no, it's all the good things about him that he doesn't want to share. The multiple times he's been up for awards, accommodations, just trooper, all the things that he did really well. Yeah.
And then we're back to Institute Week to see if the kid, what's his name again, Luke, go ahead and meet the two in charge in the office, like Mary Louise Parker.
Yeah, Mrs. Sigsby.
And then the medical doctor dude.
Yep. Yeah, the doctor, and then...
So is she like a psychologist, or...?
No, not at all. She has no medical training. She's more of like a manager, right? She manages everything. Like, she's the one in charge of the institute, but she has no medical background.
Okay.
That's why they have an entire, head of... the doctor is a head of the entire medical suite, and then they have a head of security that's in charge of, all the people who beat the kids and stuff. But at the same time, she's in charge of all of that, and she, runs it.
Yeah, the kid is essentially getting a tag, too, right?
Yeah, just
fucking sick there, but he also slapped the shit out of him.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, so we're down this road already. That was quick.
Yeah.
And so he has to comply or he gets physically hurt.
Yeah.
And then when later on, we see the other kid?
Nikki. He's the rebel.
Yeah, with the broken finger.
And then the cuts on his eye.
Yeah, so I'm assuming from the same person.
Yeah. They talk about it in more detail in the book, how Nikki's the defiant one, and he's kind of scraps it up with Tony. Yeah. So you get to know why he's like that.
Yeah, so he is just anti-go along.
Yeah.
I'm going to resist every opportunity I can until I'm forced. So it's
he is very strong in the belief that they are lying to him. There's no way that they're going to sway him with, the illusion of, what's the thing he calls it from Pinocchio? Pleasure Island. Oh, you got all the things that we weren't allowed to have and now we can live as adults and there's no one telling us what to, that kind of thing. Although they are telling him what to do, but we got all these we normally wouldn't have, which is obviously just
the wine coolers.
Yeah, it's a bait and switch. It's don't look, if you get it's fucked up is what it is, but they basically are just controlling them using the either or pain. Which one do you want? Yeah.
And then there's two different classifications right now with
there's three, but there hasn't been a
PC.
The PCs in a while, yeah, the precogs.
Precog, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So TK's telekinetic and TP's telepathic.
Right.
So read minds and move shit. Yes.
Yeah.
And Cog, what was that? There was a good show with the guy who played the Captain America that was where he was a precog, or
Chris Evans?
Yeah, Chris Evans.
Was it precog?
He helped them. No, he was the telekinetic one, and then the little girl. But yeah.
Phenomenal movie.
Yes, that one. That's what I was thinking of. All right.
Yep.
Oh, and we also get the crazy lady.
Yes.
I feel like she could be someone who's originally from there. She's
an in character. She has information that no one should have. Literally from across the country, through time. She has information. She showed up late to this town and still is the only one who believes that the young girl was killed on purpose. It wasn't an accident. Keeps trying to tell the mom, and obviously it's very traumatic for the mother, and we see all that. But Yeah, very interesting character. We don't know anything about her yet, so I don't want to say anything. But
Well, she also knows stuff about the cop. Well, the Night Knocker.
yeah, she knows things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things that she shouldn't know.
Yeah.
So that's what leads me to believe that she might be one of them. I don't know.
Right now, she's obsessed with her radio.
Yes.
And listening to and being tuned in. She can't miss it.
Yeah, it was funny when she bought all the batteries. But there are two wings to the Institute. There's the front half and the back half.
Yes. Yes.
And we have no idea what goes on in the back half. All we saw was the smoke the one time.
So, yeah, they say that, like once a week, there's the black smoke comes out of those pillars. That's all they know about it, about that building, what's going on back there. But they are told, obviously, that once you graduate the front half, which is on average, they say about 15 days for a kid.
Yeah.
That you go to the back half, and if you continue your tests and do everything you're supposed to, and be a good boy or girl, then we're just going to wipe your memory and you go home to your parents. Which, as we know, Luke doesn't have parents to go home to. So that's obviously a lie.
And so Luke is also being in by the orphan kid, the one from foster home.
Yep.
What's his name again? Nikki.
Yep.
So he's being enrolled by him to help figure out an escape plan.
Yep.
And he tests him, Luke, by the game of chess
Yeah.
to figure out how smart he is.
Luke just crushes him 5 moves.
Yeah, and it was 6, he said. The Nikki did say something like, that was just 5 moves, and he goes, oh no, that was 6.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. At least he's got integrity there also. And then he also has to do tests. We meet, 2 other kids there too?
Yeah, you have the Asian guy, George, who they just put through the dream tank, and he's like all pale, like looking real bad there in the second episode. And I believe, help me out here with this, I think her name is Tish.
Because she was, what about the other one that just got taken to the front half or whatever?
The little boy with we haven't really met him yet, but he has really high.
There was the woman.
Telepathic.
The girl. Not woman, but girl.
I'm trying to remember her name. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
She was taken away. She was like with Nikki, like really close.
No, she liked him and never told him, but the other girl can read her mind, and so she knew.
No, but I meant they were like brother-sister type with each other. Well, that's how Nikki, I perceived, viewed her.
Kalisha, but they call her Kalisha. Trying to figure out. Iris. Her name is Iris.
Iris.
She's only there for a short period of time, then she goes back.
Yeah.
She's like a minor character in the beginning.
You think we're going to see her again?
Hard to say, because you don't really ever see anybody who goes to the back half. After that, unless you go to the back half, you don't know what happens.
And then they'll talk about, the dream test, which is actually a living nightmare?
The dream tank, yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't met that in person yet, but yeah,
No.
It's an experiment. It's the last experiment they do before they graduate front half. And what it's supposed to do is unlock and amplify your abilities. So it allows, that's why when we first meet George, he can lift water. But the second time we meet him after that, he can literally run that coin through the machine over and over.
He was having so much fun with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to get some powers, you might as well use them. But the thing I'm worried about is he looks very sickly at the moment. And so, what are the ultimate side effects of ultimately overusing your power?
Is it power or is it the drug that they give them?
It's a good question. So they have the power regardless of the drug, because when we first meet Luke, he can move things around without having any of those drugs. So we, as the viewer, don't know what those drugs do yet.
I imagine that they amplify the power.
Well, right now, all we know is they make him see dots.
What's with the dots? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is that what they want?
They want you to see dots, yes.
Okay. And that's why the girl keeps kissing Luke.
I don't think she's kissing him for any other reason than she can.
Oh, I thought she was doing it because she asked the question about chickenpox.
Yeah, she does ask him that.
I thought maybe she was trying to give him chickenpox or something. I couldn't figure out why chickenpox was even brought up.
Because it's relevant to her story.
Is it?
Yeah. Because when she first got there, she got chickenpox.
And was stuck for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So she's been there like essentially the longest.
It would seem like, but I'm not really 100% sure, because she would be quarantined with the chickenpox. She wouldn't be in like Gen Pov. So
They're gone now, obviously.
yeah.
But why is she still there?
I'm sure she's getting close to her end too. Her, Nikki, George, all of them that you've met in the intro have been there for quite a while. So I'm sure that it's only a 15-day window.
And so Luke is also planning out, trying to figure out all the best ways to escape and this stuff. I feel like I'm moving on into episode 2, I think, or we've been talking about both.
Yeah, we talk about both interchangeably. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's working with Nikki to figure out a way out, and so then they saw the smoke, and what else? There's new kid that comes in. There's also the robbery. We meet this super smart shopette owner.
Yep.
This dude's quite brilliant.
He understood economics pretty well, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We also got to see that Tim is highly trained and like he's not just an average cop, right?
Medical training.
He's got medical training. He's highly trained in what he
Probably
does.
military.
And so he's got a past that we don't maybe know everything about yet. But yeah, to know to stop the wound, close it with the Vaseline, keep the pressure, to know all of that without training is pretty rare. Like, oh, it's impossible, right? You don't know to do these things. And so obviously he saves that dude's life because he knows those things. And that's an interesting piece too.
I had with him at first because I'm used to him being the bad guy and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
He was the bad guy in Punisher, but he's got some roles where he's a good guy. I guess not.
I'm used to seeing him as the bad guy.
Prince Caspian in the second Narnia, which technically is like an anti-hero. Trying to think of what other roles he's been in. In Shadow of Bone, he's the bad guy. Yeah, you're right. Most of the things I've seen him. Oh, Seventh Son, he's the hero. That's true. Seventh Son is the only one I've seen him in where he's like the lead hero. Other than that, he's the villain. Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been trying to figure out whether he's actually a good guy or a bad guy.
I won't ruin it for you then, but because I don't want you to enjoy it. But yeah.
Yeah, please don't ruin it for us.
Yeah. But I think this is an interesting concept, and I always love Stephen King. He's growing up. Pet Sematary was like the only movie that really gave me nightmares, and then there's like, It, Dark Tower. There's so much good Stephen King out there that
Fuck clowns.
I mean, that's a scary thing, Pennywise, but I have a lot of hope for this. I want to know what you guys thought of these first 2 episodes so far. We're not done yet, but I'm just curious what you thought of those first 2 episodes, and are you looking forward to where this goes? I think
Feels a little slow at first.
well, it's setting the first episodes. I'm glad they dropped 2 because it really does set your stage. And I'm glad they're not 28 minutes long and they're a full hour, and we can really set the stage for what's going on. It really introduce you to the core characters that we're going to be working with here.
So how important do you think this new kid's going to be? Well,
I mean,
damn it, you already know because you...
based on what Nikki and Luke say and exchange to each other in that hallway, I think he's a linchpin to their plan. Because if you remember them talking, Nikki says to Luke, the one thing Luke says it to Nikki, he's like, the one thing we would need is a very powerful telepath so that we can get inside these guards' minds and figure out what we can leverage to get somebody onto our side. And then Nikki's like, well, too bad. Every time someone finally unlocks their power, they send them the back half. So there's no one up here who's that powerful yet. And then the minute you meet him, he's already in people's minds, like scared, doing different stuff. And so she was like, I've never felt someone that powerful before.
Yeah, she goes, if I'm a level 1, then he's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, comparative.
He's like the youngest kid there too now.
Yeah.
Was he like 10 or something like that?
Yeah. So incredibly powerful telepath. The most powerful we've seen so far on the show. And that's what they were talking about, they needing their plan. So I would say put 2 and 2 together. He's going to be pretty important. Yeah.
Yeah. He was already inside her head because he was crying and she asked, or someone asked about candy or something like that, just try and make the kid happy. And she's like, no, he's allergic.
Yeah.
And the rest of them were like, how do you know that? He told me.
Yep.
But he's still bawling right there, making weird sounds. Like that might be the only way that he's almost like he might be autistic.
We've met people who are average intelligence all the way to super smart, so it wouldn't make like the people with these gifts are not just like one type of person, as we've seen. And so if this possibilities out there.
Yeah, and Steven can go any which way with the stuff, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited for. But the episodes did feel a little slow to me, but I did enjoy them. We also have the head of the Snatch team that was giving up the information, or about to give up the information, and her lover girlfriend of, 2 weeks or something like that, ends up shooting her in the head.
Yeah, well, she was never her girlfriend, right? She was undercover working for the same...
For Death.
Yeah, he is Death, supernatural for sure. He just plays a really creepy villain, does a good job with it.
And we got Mary Louise Parker and the medical doctor guy hooking people.
Yeah, they have this weird arrangement, Hendrix and Sigsbee. They meet in the utility closet, get it done. She's happy about it, but apparently she needs it.
She just wants to get laid, but she's also abusing herself with the burning.
Yes, she's a bit of a masochist, if you will.
It's almost like a cutter, but with burning instead.
Yeah, she burns her legs. As you can see from the amount of scarring, she's been doing this quite a while.
And the soundtrack's been real good too. I've been enjoying the soundtrack of this series. But we also have Hendrix and Death having a look as well about selling off these kids and making a profit instead of doing what they should be doing. We meet this higher up dude who's in charge of these people, and come to find out that it's almost like a mom and pop operation where there's like no resources for them. So it makes me wonder, like, if this mission is so important, how do they not have like some kind of black budget funding or crazy thing to have better equipment and stuff?
Yeah, these are good questions. I think it's interesting the dynamics between the three people we have in charge right now. Hendrix, head of security, who's Death. We're just gonna keep calling him Death because that's how we know him, but his name's Stackhouse in this. And then Sigsbee. It's a very interesting dynamic that they have because she's banging him but hates him. They both hate her, and now they're trying to work behind the scenes. Their conversations how we learn the most about the Precogs and like what's going on. He accuses him of like going behind the scenes and like trying to find Precogs, how he's not supposed to do that, and we should work together and make money and all the stuff we heard. So interesting dynamics. We'll see, because Sigsbee is 100% a company woman, like through and through. And so if she were to get wind of anything like that or hear anybody going out of line, I think
she'd turn them in.
I think the punishment would be severe for that person.
Death threw her under the bus with the superior.
Yeah, he did, for sure. And then he tried to like walk it off, be like, oh no, I just know how important it is to him. I wanted to like stroke his balls a little, but at the same time, she was like, no, that's not what you did.
The one nurse seems to be very helpful to the kids. Like, she actually genuinely cares.
Yes, Maureen.
Yeah, she's helping them out in all these situations, which feels above and beyond someone's role that would be in a film like this.
Yeah, I'm hoping that as we roll through the season, you get more of a conversation with her. Because in the book, there's a whole chapter dedicated to her, and there's a lot of conversation that Luke has with her, and like she informs Luke on a lot of things inside the book. So it's interesting that she's walked him down the hall once, and that was like let me hear about her later. So it's interesting that we haven't really seen that dynamic yet.
I'm excited to see where we go with this.
No, Institute, I've been excited to watch it, and Stephen King is something that I've been interested in since I've been a little boy, and the fact that we have what seems to be another good series getting started is exciting would be the word. Looking forward to where this goes, and looking forward to hearing what you guys say down in the comments below about episodes 1 and 2. And if you're liking this video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to keep joining us on more awesome videos, we have a playlist of them right here. But other than that, my name's Chris.
Liam.
We'll see you on that video. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.